So between Cable and Deadpool, who is the better fighter? Who has the better combat skill? I think if you know me, you will probably already know my answer, but let's talk about it. The first thing we're going to do is talk about their encounters together. And the first one we're going to talk about is actually Deadpool's first appearance, New Mutants issue 98. So we find out that Deadpool was hired to assassinate Cable, and Deadpool has a weapon aimed at Cable already. But that's when Sam jumped in and distracted Deadpool. But Deadpool quickly recovered and hit him with a neural disruptor that stopped his powers from working temporarily. And while Deadpool was distracted with Sam, that's when Cable hit him hard as fuck in the face. Not once, but twice. Then after that, they start going relative with each other. That is until Deadpool threw a knife and hit Cable in the leg with it. And just as Deadpool was about to end Cable while he was on the ground like that, that's when the rest of the New Mutants came. And I'm not gonna lie, Deadpool was holding his own against all of them. He did end up getting taken out by Domino, but he still was impressive in this, I'm not gonna lie. So based on this, they went relative. Next encounter is X-Force issue number 15 from 1997, where Deadpool comes back and again is trying to kill Cable. But this time, Cable was enraged because he saw a quote-unquote dead Domino right there. And yeah, they start going relative a little bit. Then Cable said, "That's it," and stopped playing with his ass. Once that happened, he had Deadpool on the ground like this. And Cable threw his guns and his blades to the side and said, "None of that shit. We gonna play this mano a mano." More like mano a cabeza, because I'm about to put my fist to your face until the fat lady sings. As we see Cable on top of Deadpool, and he's punching the shit out of him into the ground, just like this, letting all that anger out. Me personally, my favorite character will never get beat this brutally. That's just me though. And Cable did exactly what he said he was going to do. He punched his ass into the ground just like that until he was done with that. Seemingly Deadpool was knocked out because Cable got up and walked over to Domino to untie her. And that's when Deadpool sneaked up behind Cable and kicked the fuck out of him in the back of the head like that. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but if you ever get hit in the back of the head this hard, first off, you barely are going to be conscious if you are conscious. And then you're not going to fully recover instantly like that. So Deadpool kicked him in the back of the head, then punched him and knocked him on the ground. Then he pulled his sword out and was getting ready to end it. But that's when Domino stepped in because she got free and shot his ass. Next instance is going to be Deadpool issue number 22, where Deadpool was on a mission to assassinate someone and Cable stepped in and stopped him. To add context, this is a dying Cable who doesn't have his powers, so the techno-organic virus is spreading rapidly throughout his body during this entire fight. In fact, during this fight, they have an entire conversation about how Cable is going on his way to his deathbed. And even with this instance, they are still going relative. Cable swing and miss, and Deadpool would counter that shit and kick him in the back. Swift kick. And Cable's game plan was to keep Deadpool talking long enough just to give him an opportunity to use the little bit of TK that he had left in order to get his TO virus in check enough to finish this fight out. And once he was done with that, that's when Cable hit him and knocked him across the park or wherever the fuck they were. Then they start having this deep ass conversation, like mid-fight, to the point where at the end of it, Cable's like, "Alright, yeah, this fight is over." And Deadpool was like, "How you just gonna walk away mid-fight? We supposed to be finishing this." So, two holding back people went relative with each other. Story of Cable and Deadpool. Then we look at Cable and Deadpool issue number 22, where we can see a sparring match between Cable and Deadpool, where Cable had the upper hand in it, although they were going relative. Seems like a common theme of them two going relative with each other. Then let's talk about Cable and Deadpool issue number 32, a Civil War tie-in, where Cable and Deadpool again are going relative, but this time Deadpool is saying, "I'm not gonna hold back." And he was putting a beating on Cable, not gonna lie to you. And then Cable landed one devastating ass punch to the face that laid Deadpool the fuck out. And that's when Deadpool tried to shoot Cable, but Cable's field came back up and he just simply shot all the darts right back at Deadpool. Now in this encounter, Deadpool definitely had the upper hand, but there's some context to it. So this whole time through that fight, Cable was recording the entire thing to make it look like Deadpool was just simply beating the fuck out of him. Cable wanted to prove that the other side that Deadpool was on in the Civil War event was that bad, to get Cable fired from the people that hired him to take out the superheroes. So Deadpool did have the upper hand, but yes, Cable allowed it to happen with the context. Now, I feel like I'm missing one or two encounters that they had, but for the most part, you get the point. Every single time they fight, they go relative to each other. And then when they don't go relative and somebody has the upper hand, there's context to it. But I think a large part of that is because Cable holds back a lot. And Deadpool holds back as well against Cable. But I think Cable holds back a little more just because he doesn't like that killing aspect. He's not this brutal menace that Deadpool is. Now, he can be, but he doesn't want to be that. I also think Cable is just a little bit more skilled, but I don't think it matters in the point of them fighting each other. But like, Deadpool is a straight up nuisance to fight, and mostly because of his healing factor is so fucking broken. Like, you saw a Cable beat the absolute fuck out of Deadpool, punch his head into the ground to the point where anybody else would probably be dead. He got up 2 panels later. I also think Cable shows a lot more martial arts skill in their fights just because Deadpool relies on his healing factor. Deadpool takes a lot of damage. Then if you look at both of their interactions with higher tier martial artists within the verse, they're probably about the same. But overall, just straight up hand-to-hand combat skill, I think that these two are a lot closer than they are apart. I can see arguments on both sides. Just let me know what y'all think, cause hey, I could be wrong about some of this shit. Let me know.